Sportsbook, my Blazing 5.
That's a hot one. Let's blaze it up.
Fire it up.
It's Colin's Blazin' 5. Patriots and Colts.
I'm going to take the Colts minus 2.5. Both teams are off a bye, so they're well rested. The Colts have scored 30-plus points in 7 of 8 games. Do you realize that? In fact, do you go from week 6 on, they're number 1 in the NFL in points, total touchdowns, and second in rushing. Their defense is good, too, forcing turnovers. But the Colts are 7-0 when Jonathan Taylor has over 100 yards rushing, and the Patriots' rush defense is their weakness. It's only 18th. I think the Colts are at home. They're more desperate. I'm laying less than a field goal. I'm going to take the Colts here, 28-24. Good game. More desperate team at home wins.
Texans at Jaguars.
Haven't taken the Jaguars all year. Here we go. I'm going to take them minus 5. Why? Interim coaches always get a great effort the first several weeks. In Jacksonville's defense, they got a pass rush. They can get after you. In fact, they've allowed under 200 yards passing 5 of their last 7 games, and Davis Mills has never won a start in the NFL. Jacksonville has the better defensive front. They're at home, and they got the better quarterback. And the Texans have scored 14 or fewer points in 8 games this year, most in the NFL. So they just can't move. They're last in everything. And I got an inspired team, a focused team that wants to prove they're fine. It was the ex-coach that was a problem. I haven't taken the Jags this year. I'm going to take them 27-20 here.
Titans at Steelers.
Here's an interesting stat. I'm going to take the Pittsburgh, and the line's moved around. It's now minus half a point. I'm going to take the Steelers. You're not going to believe this. I may bang on Big Ben, but he's had his moments this year. Big Ben, 15 touchdowns, 3 picks in the last 8 games. Only Aaron Rodgers is better. Only Aaron has a better TD interception ratio. And a lot of that's because Najee Harris is now becoming a forceful running back. And they're 5-1 when Najee gets 25-plus touches. That helps Ben. The Titans' offense, meanwhile, since losing Derrick Henry, is a wreck. And what's really happening is that they're forcing Tannehill to take more of a burden of the offense, and they become a turnover machine. 9 giveaways in the last 3 games. They really miss Derrick Henry. I like the Steelers to win this game and cover 26-20.
Bengals at Broncos.
Now, I like this line much better at 1.5 and 2. It's my least favorite bet, but I'm going to take the Broncos minus 3. The line was better earlier this week, but here's why I'm going to take them. The Broncos defense forces a lot of turnovers. They've had multiple takeaways in 4 of their last 6 games. This is a real defense. Vic Fangio, these corners, this is a real defense. And what does Cincinnati do? Give it away. I love Joe Burrow. 14 picks, tied for most in the league. He's a young quarterback. It's an okay offensive line. I think Denver at home, cold weather, late in the year, very good disruptive defense. I'm going to take them to beat Cincinnati 28-23. Like the line earlier, still like the Broncos. You know I like the Broncos this year. You know I like them, right? I'll take them here.
Seahawks and Rams.
This is a strange game. I like the Seahawks a lot here. Seahawks plus 4, and here's why. First of all, massive COVID outbreak for the Rams. It's one thing to miss starters last week and be galvanized. Now you're asking them a second week in a row to be wildly shorthanded. This is a division rival. In this division, taking points is almost always the way to go. The Seahawks have 10 giveaways this year, tied for the fewest in the league. They don't beat themselves. And the Seahawks offense, since Russell has not only come back, but has been healthy in the last couple of starts, last 3 games. Russell's completing 70% of his throws. His passer rating's 109. Don't judge Russell on the game he came back against Green Bay. Since he's gotten healthier, they're getting a running game. Russell's playing better. Massive COVID outbreak. I'm going to have the Rams Seahawks. I'm going to take the 4 with Seattle. I think it's a go-either-way last-second game. I got the Rams winning by a point. I don't feel great about that. I just think it's a go-either-way game. I do think the Rams are a better football team, even with COVID. But you got to take the 4 points here. That's just way too many points in a wild, desperate Seattle team, a desperate Seahawks team. I'm going to take it. All right. There you go. I'm taking the favored Colts, the favored Jags, the favored Broncos, and the Seahawks Steelers. I tell you, I love them. Those are great picks. Every week's a get-back week for me. Dave Wannstedt, Fox Sports analyst, going to join us live now. I know Dave hates all this analytics stuff. But my take...
This is the Herd Line News.
Well, Cleveland Browns fans are a little upset right now, and the Browns' luck keeps getting worse. Backup quarterback Case Keenum has reportedly tested positive and entered health and safety protocols.
Yeah, not great.
So since Baker is also on the COVID list, third-string quarterback Nick Mullins is now in line to start for the Cleveland Browns.
He's not terrible, by the way. He's a little bit of a gamer. He's got a little Taylor Heineke in him. He's not. He's the best third-string quarterback in the league.
Right. But they're missing, I think, 13 other players.
Yes.
And Stefanski and other coaches. So he is in line to start tomorrow against the Raiders. He was just added to the active roster on Thursday.
What is your suggestion?
Move the game. Push the game back. And this is not unprecedented because we dealt with this last year. I don't understand. I know that there's a lot of complaints going on about the protocols right now. And look, there's news flying in every single direction about COVID at the moment.
Yeah.
No one really knows what's going on.
Yeah.
The leagues are playing catch up just like everyone else. But I do sympathize with the Browns situation and the Browns fans complaining because it's not necessarily about the protocols. Like, you do have all of these positive tests. There was over 100 players around the league this week that tested positive.
And they happen to be on the Rams and the Browns.
Right. And there are teams that are being hit obviously a lot worse. Like the Chargers only had Rashawn Slater. Well, move the game back. Last year, the Titans had a COVID outbreak in week 4 last season against the Steelers, and the game was postponed to week 7. Because what the league doesn't want to have happen is that you have to play games after the season has officially ended.
Right. They don't want to set a precedent where it's just a domino where everybody's moving their games too.
Well, I'm not moving the games, but they don't want the season to be elongated because of games that were canceled. They don't want to cancel games.
Right.
But you don't need to cancel the game. Move the game. Move the game to Monday. Give them some extra time for players to get out of COVID protocol.
I'm not against it. I'm really not. I think what they're worried is, okay, if we do it for the Browns with 18 and the Rams with 25, what if a team has 16 and then you'll say we moved it for the Browns? I agree. To me, I look at it and I think, just move it to Monday. We by the way, I don't know if they still do it, but when the year starts, we have a couple of Monday Night Football games. Like, put it in the afternoon.
I think you should have... Because I agree, there does have to be some sort of criteria.
That's right. And I think that's.
But if you have a certain amount of starters that are out,
I think
then it's fair to and it's not even about being fair. It's just reasonable. Like if there are. The Browns have 20 players on the COVID list. Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, Stefanski. Like, it's Case Keenum. Like, this is nonsense. So you need to move the game. Now, they're not going to move the game. They're going to play it tomorrow. Yeah. But the fact that the Browns are in playoff contention or not shouldn't matter. It should be that they have too many players that are out in order to play the game.
Now, Baker could still play, couldn't he?
They have to have, if you're vaccinated, you have to have 2 negative tests 24 hours apart. But the issue is that you're having players who are vaccinated, who are asymptomatic, still testing positive. So, this is a very fluid situation.
I think
but you remember the Ravens had a COVID outbreak in week 12 last season.
Right.
The Thanksgiving game against the Steelers was postponed 3 times.
But can I just say this?
They moved it from Thursday to Sunday, Sunday to Tuesday, then Tuesday to Wednesday.
I know all you Brown fans are freaking out. I've seen 3 teams this year. Green Bay at Arizona, Rams at Arizona, and Kansas City last night, missing multiple starters and play great football. Like, I don't think, if you ask me, I think the Browns are going to win regardless. I think you can get away with COVID losses for a week.
Yeah, but the Chiefs had 4 players, maybe 5. The Browns have 20.
That's more.
That's more. It's more. Move the game.
Like, I'm not a fan.
If they hadn't set the precedence for this last year, then I would be like, okay, look, we can't be moving games. They're going to have positive tests. This is the world we live in. But they've moved multiple games.
Yeah,
so it's completely reasonable for them to be bothered by the fact that they're not moving the game.
Yeah, I wouldn't. It doesn't bother me. I listen. It's going to be Saturday. Sunday and Monday is an NFL day anyway. So move it. Doesn't bother me.
Play the game on Tuesday.
The Browns aren't playing
when you need to play it. I'm sure the Browns would rather play on a short week than play without 20 of their guys.
That's fair.
And their head coach.
That's fair.
So the Jags have parted ways with...
To Andrew Luck, not as reckless. Pac-12, big body, big arm, smart. Passed Andrew for the most passing yards in a quarterback's first 2 seasons. Herbert and Mahomes. When I watch them play, I see two distinct styles. I think Justin Herbert has a more consistent delivery. Most of his passes look the exact same. Mahomes is got sidearm. He can be a little less consistent. He misses more layups. That touchdown he had and then threw away. That's not what Herbert looks like. A lot of the quarterback NFL records are held by Breeze, Brady, and before that, Peyton Manning. And it's their consistency of delivery and their discipline of delivery that works for them. You get the same look and throw every time, over and over and over. That is Justin Herbert. Repetition, it should be noted, creates wealth. Most wealthy people have made their money in boring fashion. They create a product, they put it on a conveyor belt, Microsoft, and sell it over and over and over again. That is Brady and Breeze. That is Manning. That is Herbert. But Bruce Springsteen sold his catalog yesterday for $500 million. Artists can hit it rich too, and that is Mahomes. He's got a different flavor and sidearm and left-handed, and he's going to have some songs that don't hit. But what is cool about Herbert and Mahomes is they're both going to be wildly successful. But they're very unique, and they're showing there's more than one way to win in this league. And that's what most rivals have been in my life. I grew up with Ollie and Frazier. You could not find two men who despised each other more or saw the world as they saw it. Magic and Bird. One was built for L.A., and one with a blue-collar work ethos was perfect for Boston. Crosby and Ovechkin.